You probably know that Donald Trump has a long history of like pretending to be a Christian for political gain. And when I say pretending, I don't mean pretending very hard. He doesn't put a lot of effort into it, but he implies that he believes in God and stuff like that. Well, some of his claims about being religious, with the obvious fact that it doesn't reflect who he is, that sort of thing is coming back to bite him on the ass, because we have this new organization, Evangelicals For Harris, that are putting out new ads targeting how he's a big hypocrite when it comes to this topic. Take a look.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible. Somebody, if I happen to be president and I see somebody who's doing well and beating me very badly, I say, go down and indict them. I alone can fix it. They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done.
And so you see there, the focus on the idea that he's basically a godlike figure. He's the only person that can do it while he divides us and he attacks communities and tells lies and stuff like that. And they seem to be, I think, very focused on and well situated to criticize the hypocrisy when it comes to Donald Trump and religion. And just in case you're not up to date on all that hypocrisy, we've put together a little bit of a mashup.
I hear this is a major theme right here, but 2 Corinthians, right? 2 Corinthians 3:17, that's the whole ball game.
I'm wondering what 1 or 2 of your most favored Bible verses are and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal, so I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into.
There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite?
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics. But Easter Sunday, Palm Sunday, I'm going to be watching tomorrow live from Riverside, California, great church. But I'm going to be watching on a computer. Right? On a laptop. I think on Easter, maybe I'll be watching from a laptop as opposed. So how sad is it that we have Easter Palm and Easter Sunday and people are watching on laptops and computers? It's sad.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
Then go to church, you big dumb idiot. And then of course you have that final moment, a great symbol, holding the Bible upside down, which I don't think is a mark of the beast, but it feels like it should be. And that he gassed peaceful protesters so that he could do that photo op.
Yeah.
Ugh, well,
gross. I love when one of the reporters asked, is that your Bible? He said, it's a Bible.
It's a Bible. Just say it's Bible. Why would you just lie? You like lying. A Bible.
That's the one time.
Exactly.
Yeah. By the way, the commercial by the Evangelicals, you have to understand Christianity, and I mean, not that I know it deeply or understand all the teachings of Christ. I have a very complicated background in religion. I was raised Mormon, confirmed Lutheran, and married in the Catholic Church. It's a lot.
Oh wow.
So,
You've been on a journey.
I've been on a journey, but watching that, I'm like, folks who like Trump, I'm like, yeah, that's he could shoot a guy on in Manhattan on Fifth Avenue, and we'll still vote for him. I'm like, it's you have to like really hammer it home.
Yeah, well, they're trying, and it's a great point. They have not minded a lot of stuff that seemingly they should. I mean, we can bring up this image. Like this seems like it was designed as a test for the religious. It's basically a golden idol to Donald Trump, and they're fine with it. They don't mind. And the affairs and the way that he talks about women is so gross. And it doesn't seem to really bother a lot of them anyway.
No, they're like, and I've never, that's the thing, is so many of us have never been able to understand. They're like, oh, he just says what he's thinking. I'm like, so does my uncle. There's just things that we used to consider to be beyond the pale. And I think that's why Governor Walz's critiquing of them and just calling them weird, and that took off, is that we've been trying to say, this isn't normal.
Yeah,
like none of this is normal, and that never took. But just saying they're weird, they're like, yeah,
it's a different angle on the same idea.
It is.
But it's more effective.
Yeah, because it's always been weird, and we've never been able to, I guess, tell people that, or it didn't take hold. But beyond that, it's just not okay.
Yeah, I love the idea that he's just saying what he's thinking. Well, don't. Also, don't think it. Like you're a weird guy for thinking it, and weirder for saying it.
Correct.
And to this day, throughout his life, and to this day. I want to end by just taking a look at how the evangelical vote is currently splitting. So overall, it's actually pretty tight, 49-50 with a 1-point lead to Donald Trump and JD Vance, which I would not have expected. Now that is the broader evangelical movement. Once you go into specifically white evangelicals, that's about as big of a split as you'll see,
Right.
With Donald Trump getting 3/4 of the vote. So we don't know if Evangelicals for Harris or other groups could be successful in taking back some of that, but they don't have to take much to have a big effect. 1 or 2 percentage points of that can be pretty significant in some parts of the country.
I agree, and there's a couple things. There's a great book called "Strangers in Their Own Land." Journalists went down in parts of the South, I believe Louisiana, to talk to folks about why they vote against their own interests, whether it's healthcare or wages, and they found that they really do. Their identity is as conservative Christians. Like that's just it's together. It's part parcel. And Jess Piper with the Blue Missouri and Dirt Road Dems, she ran for office, and people would ask her, "Are you a Democrat?" And she's like, "Yes." And she's like, "Well, I'm a Christian. I can't vote for you." And it really is baked into it. Yeah. So I'm glad to see that there's some numbers, and you're right. I think it will be impactful. It's necessary, and I hope that we can continue to for folks to really look at the teachings of Christ to understand that it is not being reflected in your party anymore. And there are people in the party who want it to reflect Christian values.
Yeah, and look, I sort of simplify too. None of them seem to care. We know that some do.
Right.
We know that that doesn't mean that they don't still vote for him.
Right.
But it does bother them on some level. I would just like to see them live the values that they want other people to live. I would like to see them live it a bit more. And it is possible that things, once we get past Donald Trump, if we ever get past Donald Trump, will move to a healthier place on the right, but that remains to be seen. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.